Alex Revell, 9 games unbeaten, 7 clean sheets, 4 wins. Everything seems to be falling into place at the moment.
Yeah, hard work. That's what it gets you. A really good togetherness and a team spirit. That's what it gets you. And then added to that is a real bits of quality and a plan to work to. I think we're kind of seeing the benefits of that now. And the players ultimately are just showing real confidence in their own game and ability. So really pleased with obviously what we've done. There's always stuff we want to work on. Of course, we know that if we could turn those draws into wins, we'd be sitting near the top. So that's a real positive in terms of knowing that's what we've got to achieve. But the clean sheets are a team collective. The wins are because of those clean sheets, and also at the other end, we're taking chances. And I think Saturday's performance was the first time when I look back and I just saw them just a real fluid team playing with real confidence and belief. And we're really proud of what the players are achieving at the minute. They've set their standards, so they have to keep pushing. But really nice to see what we're working on in the training ground is coming into games and working, and everyone deserves huge credit for that.
After Saturday's win, you said it was the best performance you've seen in a long time. How pleasing is it to be able to say that after all the hard work you put in on the training ground?
Yeah, of course. It just makes, all the work that we're doing in terms of every session designed for a way that we want to play. Every session has structure in what we're trying to see on a Saturday. And that's all credit to every single member of the staff, Dino, Mark, and obviously all the work that Ash has put in behind the scenes, all of the analyst things. And it's a real team effort. But ultimately, the praise has to go to the players, because what they've done is they've taken it on board, they've learned, they've put it into practice, and now they're showing that confidence because they've worked so hard. So we're really, like I said, we're really proud of that, because it's a fantastic group to work. I said that all year. It's a fantastic group to work with, and they just needed that something to change. But having a plan and having a real focus on what we're doing has helped with that. And like I say, having a real top group to work with is and an environment to work in is everything. And you get success if you create that.
Looking ahead to Saturday's game, our trip to Barrow was our first of the season back in September. From your point of view, what has changed from then up until now at this stage?
I think that we obviously had a good January. I think that the focus of the club in the summer was, it was a real tough summer. We know that. Everybody knows, in recruitment, in league status, it was always going to be challenging. COVID. And I think what happened is we got a real good group, and I think the senior pros helped the younger ones, and it was about learning, and we knew that we had to grow. And I think that after Christmas, what's happened is we've obviously brought in from more experience. Without a shadow of a doubt, we've obviously brought a coach and an assistant manager in that has managed and coached at top level. So to have that with myself is huge. As a football club, it means that we're trying to move in the right direction. But ultimately, the players' hard work, as I always say this, if you keep working as hard as you can, and I keep saying it with a real plan, you can have your own ideas, but with a plan, and you train every day to that plan, the players then get used to what you're doing. It's easier said than done, because you can get lost in, especially with the games that we've had in a row. But with a clear plan and an identity and hard work, hopefully they will form into one. And I believe that's what we're seeing. The amount of hard work that everyone's put in here and in the whole club. I hope that positivity comes together, and I really believe that's why we're on the run that we are, and we have to keep our standards to the end of the season.
Barrow visit Lamex on Saturday after their defeat to Grimsby. That was quite a shock defeat after their 4 wins in a row. Does that show how unpredictable of a side they are?
I think it shows how unpredictable the league is. I think that's any team that can go on a run. You look at Tranmere when they went on a run, they went out, they managed to get to third. Now they're staying up and around it. And like I said, if we could have turned those draws into wins, we would be around it. So, but I think what Barrow have done, they've got themselves really organised, very hard to beat. Obviously, they've got a real threat in goals in Quigley. We know that. They scored goals for a long time now. And again, I think what they've got is they've got a manager that believes in people and players. Seems like they've got a real belief. So we know that it's going to be a really tough game, real tough game. And we've got to make sure we focus on what we're doing and what we're good at. We have to make sure that whenever we play at home, we try and dominate the ball, and we show people how far we've come. And if we can do that with the work rate, with the desire and the togetherness that we always talk about, you know, we have to make sure it's a positive result on Saturday.
And a word on Terence Van Koosten and Liam Smythe, who've both been called up to their respective international teams. It's good to see them both getting rewarded and noticed for their work on the pitch this season.
Yeah, it's always great to have an international in your ranks, because obviously, you know, for them it's a really proud moment to represent your country. You know, with TVC, he's put in some outstanding performances so far this season since he's come into the side, and he's got playing with real belief, real focus, and a desire to make sure he's the best, which is great. And then with Liam, he's working hard with the younger pros, and obviously he's travelled with the under 21s, so it's great for him to go and get some reward with players that are Premier League clubs and Championship clubs, to see how good he is compared to those. So you know, I think that TVC, I think, was, you know, he's been playing every game, so obviously without him in the team, but you know, we welcome back Scotty and Joe Martin now from injury, which is fantastic. So we're in good shape with the squad, but yeah, really pleased for them that they've got their international, and I hope they go on and have a successful period away.
And just finally, TVC missing, can we expect to see Scott Cuthbert back in the fold, and is Joe Martin back in the squad?
Well, they're both fit, you know, and they've trained extremely hard this week to make sure that they're ready for the weekend. But you know, we're nice and solid. I think that you know, obviously one of them's going to have to be involved again because we've lost TVC, but two fantastic pros to come into the squad from being injured, and obviously making sure Scotty's concussion was over, which is great. So, like I say, all the players in a really good place. We're all looking forward to the game. They all want to work hard for each other, and we're all excited for, you know, to have another game at the Lamex to hopefully get another positive result.
Perfect. Thank you, Revs.
Cheers, Alf.